for Orchard, prevent dynamic compilation, we saw that from Jean-Thierry. This is a revert from Nix. Implementing create and delete for also updated the roles views, and then new stuff, cleaning some code. Then I played with the menus, and I will show you what I have. Adding support for static files in modules. So this one is that now, so before we had a gulp file that will compile all the assets JSON files, like in Orchard 1, okay, and it's still there, so we still have assets.json. But what I'm doing now is, if you have a content folder in a module, it will be served for static files. Okay, before this commit, the gulp script will copy all the assets from the assets.json to the targets in your module, but also, and actually I don't need this folder anymore, and also to the www root folder in the root web folder, to be able to serve them statically. Now every module can have its own content folder and serve static files. It's a convention, it has to be named content, and later we might want to be able to customize the folder, add more folders, or define the max age for each folder like we do with the web config. Today it's not this way. We can do it by code, there is no configuration way to do that, but we can add our own configuration if we want. So, but later. Right now every module provides its own assets, and the path to serve them is just slash the name of the module or the extension slash, so the content is the root. It's just actually replacing content by the name of the module, it will work. Yep, that's how it works. So yep, and that's it. And this one is to migrate from the static .root folder to each module's file. So just create, so moving the assets JSON to, okay, create it in content. So technically we can remove the styles and script folder there for each module. Just use the content folder, because this is the one which will be served also statically. I forgot to do that. I will. So who's there now? More people? 9. Wow. Just as a reminder for everyone, I started alone. I checked 2 or 3 times what issue I had done. And then Antoine and, well, Mike, Antoine and Matthew joined. So that's it for the updates. Questions? Let me take some notes. I have some things to show. Status done. Demos. I will show the menus in Orchard 2. So I talked about static files. I want to show you something before I forget about it. This one. Just before the meeting, I received an email from SQL Azure databases with a suggestion that I should create an index for the Orchard Gallery on this table, content item version record, for these columns, record ID and published, which makes sense. And the fun thing is that I received an email to tell me, hey, it will have a high impact if you did that. And there was a link in the email. I just clicked the link, and then it goes to the portal with the suggested indexes to create. This one will have a low impact. Apparently, this is when users authenticate, okay, that a request is done on these fields. And this one is whenever we want to display something on the front end, a content item. So just to mention that I think it's awesome that it will tell you automatically that I don't have to do that, but I can just do it if I want. That's beautiful, and then the website will be faster. How do I execute that? Accept, apply. Done. I like it. That's a very nice feature. So just a comment. That's it. Then I wanted to show you the different menus I worked on.
Sebastian,
Yeah,
if Azure SQL suggests that, why can't we simply put that in a part of the script for the default deployment?
we have some already that we know are useful. This one could be, but what we tend to do is not to prematurely suggest things that might change based on the usage of your site or the number of items you have in your records. It's always specific to the usage. There are some that we know we do all the time for the queries. This is when it was not taken automatically, or maybe we have a compound index which like does that on multiple fields at the same time, and this one is better in this case. Yeah. So yeah, file an issue. Maybe we should do that. I haven't checked the code for this one particularly. But it's good that it's based on usage. So it found the usage, it found that it will have an impact, and it said do that. So I think it's better based on the usage and in terms of client usage and database cardinality, what you have in your database, how many items. Yes, I will open Gitter because it will be easier to show in the videos that I published here. So I made two menus. To try this one. Let's see if it's the big one. So I don't know what you can see because of the lag in the video. So this is a GIF. So the ID was that, so the first level is displayed like this. The sad thing is that I can't pause. So I will just let it play and explain. So the first level is displayed, and when you click it, the sub-level hovers the first level and pushes the first level on the right. It's always hidden and you can show it dynamically, and it supports multiple levels because that's the goal, supporting multiple levels. So here I can go back one level or click a page, or it can go multiple levels. First level, second level. Okay, and it stacks the content on the right and it pushes on the right. And it works beautifully on mobile. The issue is that it doesn't really work with files if we want to, or deep content, because we lose track of where we are in the hierarchy. It looks like technically, well, it looks nice visually, but it's not very useful. Also, it's odd because everything goes from the left. The rows are on the left, and it's stacked on the right. It's fixable, but yeah, it doesn't feel right for the kind of things we want to do. But still, I try to see how it looks like. So this is the first attempt, and then, well, I shared that on the forum, and Jasmin also commented. And this is actually what I think we should have. I showed some examples last week, and I think the best experience I found from examples that we could target is actually from VS Code. So if you look at this folder, for instance, we have, you see, it's a tree, if it works. So it's a tree view, okay? We can have multiple levels, and on the left we have the first level, which is a big sections, exactly like we want to do, okay? So a few set of levels on the left, and then more levels on the right. And it also works with files. It can be users, roles, whatever, content items, subsections, and files fit completely there, like a hierarchy of folders. So that's beautiful. Here it shows also some contextual actions on the items here on the groups, but we could imagine the same thing on each item to have contextual actions, like for the files, delete, whatever, or for the, I don't know, search on things. Create new items, like we could list the types there and create new directly from the type. So that's some solution. So I tried to implement that also after. Just miss, yeah. Yep, so Jasmine pointed me to an implementation of a multi-level accordion. I will show you. Okay, this is the like then the implementation I made. So first level on the left, always visible, okay, with the icon and the text, which I've read is better than just the icon, because you never know what is the icon. So if you're on a touch screen, you have to touch to see what's happening. Here we have the text, so it's better. So when we click, then it's just a tree view. So here there are no levels, so just one level. And here there are multiple levels, and we see it's just a hierarchy. And that works also. It's simpler also to understand. It's sticky, so when we click on an element, the page is refreshed, but the menu item is there. Actually, what's happening is that the full page is refreshed, and the JavaScript will find which page should be open based on the URL, and reload and reopen all the hierarchy to the page we are there. Another optimization could be that when we click, we just load the content zone and refresh the content zone. There might be some drawbacks, so right now I'm just refreshing everything. So this works correctly. It's not nothing fancy, but it can be, I'm sure, it can be done better with some UI talent. We'll see who can make it better. But right now it's working right. The only thing that I think we'll have to change is that the full menu, which means the full items and all its elements in the hierarchy, are loaded once as part of the menu. Now, if we had to take into account the media folders, which can be like lots of elements, and we might not want to display it all the time, it will be loaded all the time, which means it will load everything, but maybe never show it up. So something we could do is actually treat so this thing on the left as a specific menu called, I don't know, admin left bar, to add menu items there. And these will drive other menus. So we can target this menu, and not that as a menu item, but the content menu, the new menu, the content definition menu, and these will be loaded on demand. Like when I click on content, then we can load the menu and display it there. This way, if we have a media thing, we will just load it dynamically on this level. We will not have to load the full menu all the time, even if it's cached, or to build the full menu. For instance, if it was completely built statically, like it is today, we will have to browse all the content items for the media, all the folders, and build it to be able to build the menu. There is nothing dynamic, so I think that would be an issue. I will look into adding more dynamicity into the menu rendering, and probably create an API to load an item, and so when we expand, it's loaded only when it's expanded. So we just load the first level when we click, and then we expand dynamically. This is what Umbraco is doing, as far as I know. Questions, comments? Whoa, everyone is back. What happened? No questions? Do you like the menu? Do you not like the menu?
Yes, there are questions. It's just that you're not reading them.
Sorry. I'm listening. Hello. Okay.
Yeah, the tree module has the API already.
Okay.
So still it.
Well, it's not about the difficulty or copy pasting. Just it's a question of behavior. Do you want to do that? And yes, I'm sure we'll do that then. The same thing.
It's very nice.
Okay.
But yeah, the API is already designed in the tree. So
you're not supposed to come to work if you're sick.
I'm not sick. Do I sound sick?
Yes.
I don't sound alien this time. I just sound sick.
Yes. Okay. Well,
I'm not.
Okay. Okay, but I will take a look. Send me a link. Well, it's the modulation, so I will take a look. Sergio.
Yeah, sure. I'll send you a link.
But I can do it. Don't worry. If it takes you more than 1 minute, I will search for it. Yep. Yeah, and the design will be updated to look better. It also doesn't work on mobile right now, There needs to be some work, but it's totally doable to have it completely stacked vertically and show the hierarchy. So maybe not as a hierarchy, but at least some accordions, like you can expand the zones and drill down in the folder. Thank you. Good. Any comment, suggestion, or issue with that? I think it will look nice in the end. It already works. You see, I can click and it shows everything.
Should we discuss the top level categories, the big icon?
Yep, we
items?
can. And thank you for the question, because I have another suggestion actually. So this.
Yeah, because users and roles under content doesn't sound right.
Oh no, it's totally just.
Okay.
It's just a test, and I put them there because I have a no. Look, like this thing is demo. The content definition, we won't have it there.
Sure.
So I have a suggestion also to make this zone also extensible. So we will have a set of items that we suggest, but anyone should be able to add one because it makes sense for them, and we should be able to add things maybe more complex than just an icon and a text, or position them at the bottom and at the top. I have some app in mind that I can't show right now. I didn't take a screenshot, or maybe VS Code has the same thing. Let me show you what I think. Later I will send you a screenshot of what it should look like, but we could imagine that someone wants to add the profile of the current user at the top, or the settings at the very bottom, or some notification icon. So we could imagine many things, but it should not be a lot of elements on the left. It should fit in a screen, but I want it to be customizable still. Okay, so we can add more, or modules or ecosystems can add more things at the top, at the bottom, and make them look better than just an icon. And I have some. I will show later something. But yeah, so the Cerberus menu branch and Orchard 2. Yes, so these things are already in branches, but I will merge them, because if you approve the logic, I will merge them and we can work on that. Then Bertrand, what should be there? Content should be there, or something like this to show the content.
Should new be top level, or should it be something under content?
And I think it should be under content. Like something like new, and we could even have the types under, like new article. I'm just brainstorming, and let's fix that. Something I think we should have also is settings at the top still. Maybe at the bottom like we have today, and then all the settings will be there. Then we can take piece by piece and see where they will fit. Media should be also somewhere there. And then yes or no, should it contain just the media content items, or should it be under content?
Maybe we should ask more people about that one.
Okay.
I'm thinking about being a little more task oriented, and maybe even not present the same menu necessarily to all users. If you're the guy who maintains the site, for example, who manages comments and so on, you might want to have different things in there than a guy who just creates blog posts, for example.
Different things.
So I understand that it will be filtered, but having if I'm the guy who manages comments, I wouldn't know to go into contents to find the comments, for example. So I don't know.
Example.
More generally, we shouldn't ship the architecture in the menu is another way of saying
Okay.
it.
We can also take a look at other CMSs. So what do we have right now, just to see what I thought? So it's kind of media, it's new, but it's wrong. This is the media, this is the content, so nothing to take into account there. If we take Orchard 1, what we have on the left, everything is on the left menu in Orchard 1. We have things like content definition. I would suggest to put something like settings. Settings being like more the admin of the website. Maybe we have two things, like settings as an user. It could change some settings for the, not like dev, but more settings. And maybe we need something like dev, like you said, or profile oriented and settings. I'm not sure. Or settings, configuration.
Design.
Design, yep. So if we do content definition, so it's more something like design. Let's keep the name right now. Most users won't see this section, so it's like let's say like design dev, so they won't see that. So content definition, we can also call it definition. Settings, it's more like comments, like notifications, things like this. Okay, notification. So this way a user can go to settings and change the comment settings, and it's different than for maybe different than design. Media, something like taxonomies. Taxonomy should be in content, so we could have something like taxonomies.
Yes, so taxonomies is both contents and a way to access and classify your contents. So when you look at the tree module, you'll see that there is a taxonomy provider that enables you to actually navigate to your contents using the taxonomies. And I think that's an interesting concept. So you bring the taxonomies to the top of the content hierarchy.
Yeah, people have asked for that, yeah. So like colors, categories, things like this. And we could also drill down on blue.
So about what I said earlier about being more task-oriented, we might want to have a top-level icon that is about moderating or managing the site. So for a commerce site, for example, that would be managing your orders that you would find under that. It's not really contents. That's also where you would manage the comments. I don't know how to, tasks, maybe, or, something like moderation or management, or I don't know, management maybe.
Management is weird.
I know it's a little vague, but as a placeholder until we find something better, maybe.
Moderate comments.
Batch orders, that sort of thing. If you're doing a commerce site, this is where you would expect to find the orders. Create article, I don't know, that should be in content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Okay, tasks.
You see what I mean? Content might be like the new could be there actually.
Maybe.
And this one should maybe just about browsing data. It's actually two different things when you go to a site where, okay, I want to create an article or I want to look for my content and search and whatever. If it's more task-oriented and not concept-oriented, then new article should not be in content, but should be in tasks.
Yeah, maybe if you do commerce, you would actually have a commerce top level thing. Is George on the call?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, someone was talking to me at my desk. What was the question again?
What do you think about that? You manage quite a lot of commerce sites. How would you like the menu to help your customers? What kind of navigation would you see for commerce?
One of the things that we are trying to do is figure out a way to make the menu more data-driven. Right now, our menu is not data-driven at all. It's manually maintained with all of the categories of content. So that, if it had some kind of, I'm not sure how you would do that though. That was the problem because it's all stored as content right now.
Did you follow up our discussion?
Yeah, did you follow the demo?
I saw bits and pieces of it. I've had people coming and going at my desk all day.
So you have those top-level big icons on the left that are kind of, not data-driven, but dynamic in a way. And then under that, you can have a whole hierarchy of contents.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that either it has to pull from, you could set it to pull from an external API, which is risky because if that API goes down, then you're, it might be better to have an API where you can actually add to those menus, dynamically from an outside source. It's still
that's sort of extensible, but we're talking about the general organization and for example, would you have a top-level commerce icon, or would you prefer to spread the commerce-related tasks and
honestly, it could be either or. We have sites that they want to put, they'll put 10 categories in a list, and at the bottom they'll put the fit guide, or they'll put a landing page for some new collection they're launching.
So I have a suggestion. So today, building the menu is code-based. Like we create the code to define what a menu is, which means it's very, very static. You can add new sections, but everything which has been defined by Orchard on the modules are there. Why not instead, maybe in parallel, have the menu items defined by configuration in each module, like a file, and we could override these files and provide exactly reorganize the things. So every module will provide all the links and the targets and the names in where they should be, like today, but not by code, but by XML file, for instance. And then when you want to customize, you customize the theme, and you can say, or you customize a file to enhance the menu or remove some items, move them around, because.
So actually that exists. OneStop has a module developed by a certain person that enables customization of the menu. You can add new menu items from a configuration screen. So yeah, pretty much the same idea, using the existing infrastructure.
So this can be done as a module today, but what I'm suggesting is that even the menu items we have today should be done this way, so that we can change them. Because with the module you're just mentioning, you could add stuff where you want, which is fine. What I'm suggesting is that we can also change what is there provided by modules, because we want to reorganize them.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And this way we can provide a common methodology for building menu items and menus. But then if it's an e-commerce, you can say, well, I want this thing to be under content and not under task management.
Or you could actually have some items that are under several categories.
Also, yes, we can clone. Yes, definitely. That would make sense.
So the modules would provide some default position.
Like today, but not hard-coded. Yes, you will provide stuff that you can change then. And it has to be something like a file. And then we can also create a module which will provide another set of items. Graphically and not by file, but at least we can change the location from different modules.
Because we do have situations where we have canned menu items that every site has. Like they'll have the My Account and the order tracking and all of those things, and having to set those up, we just have a recipe that we just import everywhere. But if that was something that the application itself could create and configure, that would be really cool. Because then if you turn on another feature, it could inject another menu item in there. So that would be a big help, because right now it's just another piece of content that we have to keep in sync across all the environments.
And so it's like the placement file, but for menu items. Every module provides their menus, items, and their placement, but you can define another placement file which will reorder the items.
Yeah, and Alfred is suggesting something which is that it needs to be role-based. I would go even farther than that. You should be able to override the defaults at the site level, but also at the user level. A user should be able to create his own menu.
So exactly like placement. So placement might have matches, and if role foo, then menu item goes there. If role bar, then menu item goes there, or is hidden. Things like this. So that will work. Okay. But that doesn't prevent us from having a nice default one. So yeah, and under media we could have profiles and content items. It could be like per type, images, or do we have videos, things like this too. Or by content item. So when we will click, I don't know how to represent that, but we could browse by location and then also be able to filter by type.
Shouldn't media profiles be under design?
Yeah, probably.
So you would have the actual media directly under media instead of having a content items header.
Media should just be media, list all medias. Things like workflows, projections, it's a mix between, it's design also, projections.
Is it design or is it about organization of content?
Projection, I think it's design, because you're building the site. You don't expect people, you expect it to create an article and the projection will display the article. Workflow, it's mixed, but same thing. I assume you can still allow some end user to edit the workflows. That's fine, but it will be in design. It's not really content management. Something like create content, like create user. I don't know, users, where we should put them, or settings to list users, and user role management, where should it be? Because it's not design. This is the life of the website. It's kind of like the content, but
task management,
like users roles, membership. At the same time, you might want to edit users as a user, but roles is more like site building.
So remove membership.
Design, we have themes, settings. Let me see what people are suggesting. Role based. Yep. Searching for the items. You mean content items? Yeah, here in content, I have a search element here. This could be a top level thing, because now we can target, even in Orchard 1 actually with a new theme, we can target the top header and inject a text box for search, which will drive the content item search by default. So this is definitely something you want to do here, right?
I was actually thinking about searching the menu items that you have up there because you get a lot of them, and it's nice to just search for it.
Yep. Yeah, yep, right. I've seen that. I think in Umbraco, maybe it was search content, but yeah. So what you're saying is like a filter, like we have in the users or roles, a text box, and you type, and you can see the okay, quick action search.
That will be really tricky if the contents of the menu is actually dynamically fetched from services.
Right, or it can also be a service, but yeah, like the pumpy here, not the pumpy, the control P.
Yeah, that's probably something to think about at the API level. So the providers who want to participate in the menu should probably also provide the means to index and or search.
Yep. Okay.
You can do it with JavaScript really easy.
Yeah, but you need a service too. That's the issue. The JavaScript is fine. The issue is that the menu providers on the server side need to be able to expose all their items on request across the tree. It's not about, oh, give me the elements under this level to display it. It's about, yeah, as Bertrand said, searching and indexing the items you provide. Search action. Yep, like the control P in VS Code. Search command. Yep, okay. Here I have nothing interesting here. Can someone share a screenshot of Orchard one? Just to see what we are missing, obvious elements, or tell.
If we were to add draftability to the content-based menus, is that something we would do at the provider level, or the provider would have to implement that themselves? That's the one big ask that everybody wants, is the ability to schedule a new menu to be published at a time they specify.
So it's an orthogonal question to the discussion right now, right? It's about publishing, schedule publishing of draft.
I don't know if that's something we would want to kind of include in the spec for those providers, or is it something that we would want to consider as a separate feature?
So you are talking about schedule publishing of a menu item.
Mm-hmm.
This is content management. This is independent from menu item. It works with any, like you could say, schedule publish taxonomy item, schedule publish whatever. So it's about draftability of menu items, but not menu items as the admin menu like this, menu provider, but menu items as content items, which are different.
Right.
Actually. Because there is a menu provider which will create menu items based on the content items.
Mm-hmm.
So and then when it queries the menu items, it will say.
So we would just, the content manager would then handle all of that. We wouldn't have to worry about that.
So yes,
okay, I figured I'd just bring it up.
But yeah, we need to think about it when we build the menu management for the front ends, like the menu widgets and things like that. So yeah, and yeah, and it's not supported today, or maybe a menu item is not a content item. Yes, it is, because we can add fields to it.
Yeah,
it should be supported already.
Well, it isn't. We can discuss it. I don't want to derail the discussion, but we've had some interesting trials with that idea, and we need some additional UI and messaging to make it something that users work as it expects.
Good. Good. What else are we missing here? New content definition is there. Searching for the items, no, we already talked about it. Taxonomy projection workflows, layout. Layout is about when I create a new content, I see that, then there is design where I can create contents. So yeah, master layouts, for instance. Settings. Like email settings, where should they be? In design or settings? That's fine there. I assume what we have in settings right now should remain in settings. Oh, modules and features.
Under design.
Okay, so right now we have then tasks, content, media, settings, design, 5 items. It looks good.
Widgets? Did you put widgets?
Widgets will be could be content. That
I would put them in design.
Yep, I would agree because
Maybe in both. I don't
no,
know.
because no. Well, it's like master layouts because you edit layers, and when you want to create a new widget, or should we separate layers from adding widgets? Like we will separate layout master layouts from no, maybe not. Yeah, widgets is weird.
Do we actually still have widgets?
Oh yes, we need widgets. Yes. It's parallel to
Separate
layouts.
discussion. But
I think we need widgets and layouts, both. You need to use the same editor, but the behavior is different. Layout is per content item placement. Widget is cross content item placement. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You didn't
We
question
agree,
that.
but
Okay.
there is still a discussion to be had, I think, about reducing concepts.
Okay.
Maybe.
Oh yeah,
But
or
that's
make it
right.
more. Yeah. Okay. The thing I don't like about this kind of thing is
But you can search it.
is Matthew, is your comment about the discussion or an independent comment?
That's just about the idea as a whole of having these 5 big buttons and then just hiding everything away. It's like puts a level of guesswork into everything.
So you say.
So this is why we said earlier that you would actually be able to customize it yourself, and there will be search. So if you can't find something, you would probably search for it, and if you go, what the fuck is this doing under this header? Well, you just move it.
Yeah, I guess if you're going to have search, I wasn't sure if that was actually going to work from this discussion.
But
earlier.
yeah, you
I mean,
can't.
From a tutorial writing point of view as well, you're also going to not be able to say click this, then this, then this if it's never in the same place.
Yeah. The thing is, with any hierarchy, you will be it will be obvious to some and complicated to others. You can't really satisfy everyone.
Okay, I saw some things. Well, tenants is definitely in design. I see too. Are they going to layers?
Things
Yes.
So that's not the. Do we care about the order here, or?
Not yet. I don't think so. We just to have an idea of the sections and how we want to organize the hierarchy. It's not definitive, but what I get from that is what the main sections are and what we want to put inside. So for instance, if I also take the roadmap, just to have an idea, multi-tenancy, everything's there. localization, import, export, tenants, indexing, search. So import, export. We might want to do sections there, I don't know. Import, export, indexing, search. I'm afraid there will be many things in design. Widget scripting. At the same time, yeah, we don't want to.
Yeah. What's nice about putting stuff in design is that it clears up the rest, which is where you'll spend most of your time. So there is benefit in that.
Yeah, but most of the stuff here then is in design. It could be organized by display or security or content. Like display could be master layout, widgets, whatever. That could be site design like tenants, modules, things like this.
So would you add an additional
Level to organize
level?
things.
Okay.
Because if you look into the UI, there will be the big icon on design, and you click, you will see categories, and they could be also already expanded, and it's just categorizing. Yep. So like if we do display, but I'm not sure display thing. If it's about and just placeholder. Just an ID. Yeah, we could even imagine that. So what we could do also is a module could provide common actions and customizable menu item that you can add the common things you want per user. That could definitely work.
Yeah, both Drupal and Windows Explorer allow you to pin items.
I see what you mean. Okay.
And that's very easy. It's one click.
Yeah, so we could imagine that every menu item element will have a context menu. One of these items could be pin and pin.
Mhm.
Like right click, unpin, voila. And when we are in the pin items, then we can unpin something. So how do you call that? Pin menu items. Okay, I think that's good progress. Good. So I will try to implement that. Other comments, other topics, discussions I missed? There was no update on the harvest. Well, no update. That kind of discussion with George, Rob, and Sipke. Rob has found some solutions in New York. I'm not sure we talked about it already last week. And that's it. Recordings of previous meetings were available. I know, let's ask Janos an idea about when we can have the previous recordings? Or do we need some help? Can someone help you on that? Okay. Thanks. I think that's it. Yep. Other questions? If not, we'll end the meeting. Okay. So thanks everyone. Oh, George. Okay, good. Thanks everyone. See you on Thursday. Bye.
See you there.
Cheers.
Bye.